So I don't know when I became the Scapeshift guy because I hated that deck for the longest time. But I guess between trying it out for every single event and trying it for Boston, liking it, or GP Worcester, despite not playing this, I guess I'm just the Scapeshift guy now. This list is one that Luis Scott Vargas played to a 4-0 finish in a daily event a few days ago. I was mostly just impressed because it plays 4 dig through time, and that's just where I want to start. Because that card is like Treasure Cruise is good. Dig through time is just a completely different realm of playing Magic. Like it's so good that I even feel stupid for not playing 4 in my Pro Tour Kanza Tarkir list. Um, you have to jump through a lot of hoops, or by a lot I mean doing. You have to do things in the game to cast it. But I mean, like at least from my experience in Vintage, it's definitely the better part of a draw 7. It's really absurd. Um, this was just a shell that happened to be really well suited for it. Both, so dig through time even as a 4 drop is reasonable here because you're not aiming to kill on 4. You can, but you don't have to. And 4 is a pretty good setup turn to cast dig through time on because you'll have filled your graveyard, as well as have lands in play to actually cast it. There's also a good sort of split interaction between all of your interactive instants and dig through time. So if you don't cryptic command them, you actually have something to do. You can just dig and find your kill. You also need the powerful card finding things to get your escape shifts off. And you also have enough mana that even if you dig once, you can actually get to a point where you exile your graveyard to dig and then just dig again because you just have so much mana in the deck. Looking through the deck, it's nothing too, I guess, out of the stock list that we've been recently seeing. Luis is playing 4 bolts and 3 Izzet charms, which is not something I was promoting the last time I played the deck. I was really high on the all cantrips plan. But at the same time, I think that Dig Through Time may change that quite a bit and make it so that you actually want those, as well as Monastery Swiftspear making it so that you basically have to have Lightning Bolt in your deck in order to compete, unless you're just straight up deading them. Um, the only thing that really shocks me about this list is that the Misty Rainforest still are the only fetches, but that may just be a consequence of I need X number of basics to fetch with these cards, and then X number of mountains, and there's just not room for another fetch. You could cut like the Flooded Grove or a Breeding Pool. There are a lot of breeding pools here, actually. So that might be like cut a breeding pool for a fetch or whatever. But I'm not really going to try to stray too far from Luis's decisions because, I mean, Luis. So he was probably just trying something too, to be honest. But I'll start at the same point as him and see where I get. Sideboard's also pretty stock. Affinity Hate, not the best, but not the worst. Creature removal, anti-counters, and sideboard dudes in case your opponent is doing something you want sideboard dudes against. He has more Batter Skull than I'm used to, but Baloth has lost a metagame share as a result of Monastery Swiftspear kicking out a lot, or, well, not Swiftspear, Treasure Cruise kicking out a lot of the Thoughtseize decks, or Liliana decks more accurately. Overall, I'm excited to see where this card goes in the format because, I mean, it's good in Standard, and it's off the charts in Vintage, and I can only assume that as you go back in the years from Standard, the card just gets better and better.